Yeah, so guys, and welcome to the second episode of 0 to a Million in 7 Days FIFA 20 Trading Guide. So if you guys aren't aware what this is a little trading guide, I guess, which hopefully will teach you guys how to make your first million in 7 days, which is what I've managed to do for the last 2 years in a row. So hopefully I'll be able to teach you guys what I do at the beginning of FIFA to, start the ball rolling. And pretty nicely, a million in 7 days. So, the first episode we did was Bronze Pack Method. I'll be honest, not really a method I would use at the beginning of the game, but it's a nice introduction for people who aren't into trading. But today, we're actually going to be doing another method, which actually doesn't regard trading, so happy days. And what it is going to be, is it's going to be the beauty that is the Advanced and Basic SBCs. Now, the Advanced Basic SBCs is arguably something you should do before you even start trading on FIFA. Now, the reason for this is because these are guaranteed coins. There are SBCs literally in the basic and advanced SBCs that will cost you 600 coins and you'll be able to discard the pack for 2k. You're guaranteeing yourself right there 1.4k, take about 5-10 minutes doing the SBC. Honestly, 1.4k in the first 5-10 minutes at the beginning of FIFA is banging. And that's saying that you don't even pack anything good. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the order you want to do the SBCs. We're going to be talking about the SBCs you want to do and not do. We are, as I say, going to be keeping it to basic and advanced. We're not going to be talking about league SBCs. One, that might change next year. Because one thing we are going to be going off of is the presumption that EA is actually going to keep the advanced and basic SBCs the exact same. Quite a risky presumption to go off of. Apart from that, they literally, since releasing the SBCs, they have not changed the advanced and basic. They've kept them the exact same requirements, the exact same packs. So, we're going to go with the presumption that EA aren't being creative this year and going to be keeping it the exact same. We're not also going to be talking about you want to be using exactly this, and this player. We'll be talking about Footbin a little bit and how you can use Footbin, but not rely on Footbin fully because that's very dangerous. But yeah, I'll be giving you guys recommendations of what I used and what you can use, and happy days. So, without further ado, let's go and crack into the first SBCs you guys should do once loading up FIFA 20. So, what we're going to start off with is the old basic SBCs. Now, with the basic SBCs, you've got this one which is untradeable, you've got this one which is untradeable, and this one which is tradable. Again, they're probably going to keep the exact same names because they haven't been very creative in the last 2 years. So, League and Nation Basics is what we're going to be doing. It shows you that it's tradable because, unlike both these, which have untradeable and untradeable at the end, this pack is tradable. Now, what is made up in the League and Nation Basics, we've got one League Attack, we've got one Nation Midfield, and we've got Multi-League and Nations. Now, these SBCs aren't very expensive. In fact, you can actually start the whole process off with about 600 coins, which is, very easy to get. You could maybe do a little bit of trading, you could open one pack, or you could even play a game, So it's not very hard to actually start the ball rolling with these SBCs. Now, chronologically, it would make sense to do this one, but it's actually a very good one to do first, and I probably wouldn't recommend any of the others to do. So we're going to go and click on it right here, and what it basically needs is it needs one league and 5 different nationalities. Now the good thing with this is you've probably obtained a lot of bronze players via all the beginner packs you get from the beginner SBC. So what you want to do is you want to look in your club and you want to ideally look for players who aren't in the nation of the league. For example, Prem English, the Premier League is the English league, and that what you're looking for is you're looking maybe for an Irish player in one of the English leagues. You may be looking for a Austrian player in one of the German leagues, and that's what you're looking for. Now, I've had a little scan on this account, and there is actually no one from out of the home league nations, but that's what you're looking for because that's going to be a very, easy player to build around. Again, all the players for this one you can go and pick up for 150, but what you're predominantly doing is trying to find 2 players from the same league, but different nations, and of course that can fit the positions on the squad. And then from there, you just want to go and win everyone on 150 coin bids. There aren't any really leagues I recommend. All leagues are going to be pretty easy. Probably maybe stay away from the English leagues, just because I feel like that's kind of done a little bit more at the beginning of the game, and therefore make it more expensive. But as I say, everyone, you can get on 150 coin bids. If you have any pack pool players, it means you can go use a centre mid in the cam and a left wing or right wing in the right forward. So there's that one. And again, that one's only going to cost you 600 coins because theoretically you're going to have one player packed, which means 4 times 150, 600 coins for a premium silver players pack. And if I'm not wrong, that does discard for 1.5 to 1.6k, so that's 1k guaranteed without packing anything good. We're now going to head over to the one nation midfield. This one's quite nice because at the beginning of the game, you pick a nation to use, and a lot of the times you'll pick up about 2 or 3 silvers, because for this one you do need 3 silvers. So if I go right now silver English, because that's the nation I chose, they've already given me 2 players. Now sadly I can actually only use one of them, which would be Gilby. But what I also will have in the club right now will be a bunch of English players, because again I picked England. that I could go and use. Although saying that, I could only use one more. So what you want to use for this is, again, you want to look in your club, look at that nation you chose at the beginning. Now, one thing I will say is actually stay away from England, because England left mids and right mids, if I'm not wrong, at the beginning of the game were about 500 coins to about a K. So you kind of wanted to stay away from them. Some of the good ones were the French, actually. Germans, I'm pretty sure, were pretty good. And one recommendation for this is try and use the home nations for the right mid and left mids. For example, if you are going to go with England, make sure to use one of the English leagues on the left mid and right mid. Because there are only 4 English leagues, it means you'd have to use one English player in like the MLS or the Irish league. Now, trying to make sure that that player is a right mid in the Irish league or the MLS would be so much harder than like a centre mid, because the centre mid is going to be way more common from England in the MLS than a right mid, and it'd be way cheaper. So if you do use popular nations, make sure to go with the home leagues in the left and right mid, and then go with some of the minor leagues before. Also, planning doesn't hurt. You know, if you actually want to go and plan out your team, because the last thing you'll do is go and buy 4 players and then you're like, oh, I can't build it, and the last player you have to buy is like 2k. Feel free to plan this one out. Again, you kind of want to go through these very fast at the beginning of the game because you want to get them early coins before everyone starts rising. But there's that one. And now to end off right now, we've got the multi-league and nation. Now this is quite an interesting one because this basically is the first one where it actually requires using a bit of rating, which again is where the early players given to you helps. Now at the beginning you get a 2-player pack which gives you 1 gold and 1 other. I actually got 2 golds on this account, but it doesn't really matter. Now, what I would probably look for using, maybe you could even use Lallana and Carroll. Now, the ways of building this one, because it's the first time where you're really hybriding. Personally, this is what I would use right here. I would go and use, like, you know, the strikers getting a strong link, the centre mid's getting a strong link, and the centre backs getting a strong link. Now, a really, really nice way to do this one, actually, is to go and find high-rated silver players who are cheap. So, let's go and hopefully show you a nice little example. This is what I personally would do. Because it needs rating, you can actually get the rating by using high-rated silvers rather than using mixture of gold and bronzes. And as you can get these high-rated silvers to 200 coins, and I'm sure even 100 coins, what you'd want to be going for is you want to be going for the second league, so the second French league. I'd then want to go France and look at strikers, because you need 2 strikers that connect, 2 centre mids that connect, and 2 centre backs. And what you're looking for is kind of 72 rated or higher. I actually need to put a 200 coin buy now right now. And this is personally what I do every single time. Now, if you guys don't know, I did loads of Road to Glories this year, so I'm very familiar with doing these SBCs. Again, as there weren't too many high red players, I'd probably go and leave that. And now move underway to centre mid and see if there's anything interesting. 70 and a 71, so I'd probably go and pick these up as a pair. Now, the sort of like nations and leagues you want to be using, just use the second of every popular nation. So you've got Italy from the Calcio B. You've obviously got Germany from the Bundesliga 2. I don't think the Bundesliga 3 is high enough players. You got Spanish from the La Liga. Let's try and think of a few others that were good. Sweden, I don't think is too bad. Obviously, Swedish players from that. Chileans, I don't think were very good. Polish players, maybe not too bad. You probably want to stay away from Eredivisie because they'd probably be expensive. But that's kind of what you're looking for. You're just looking for a few strong links. So that is the basic league and nations done. Again, any questions you guys do have, do make sure to drop them down below. But now what we're going to do is we're going to crack underway with the advanced SBCs. So once completing the basic SBCs, you are going to move on to the advanced SBCs. Now, of course, you can just do 1 here, 1 there, but I'd recommend jump underway with hybrid nations because you can set a very easy order. Now, should be on about 5 to 7k off the back of those basic SBCs, which allowed you to go and do, if I'm not wrong, quads. It does indeed. So quads is a SBC needing 4 rares and 75 rating. Now, to get those rares, to stop you having to buy golds costing like 700, well, gold rares having to cost you like 700-800 coins, you actually can go with rare bronzes. Now, what you can do is you can do 2 things. You can do 1, you can pick your league at the beginning and use rare bronzes from that league. Let's say the Superliga, the Turkish league. So you go and buy 4 bronzes. Again, you're only allowed 4 nations here, so you've got to make sure you go with nations that are, you know, popular. So let's say I went with 4 Turkish rare bronzes and 1 Swiss, because they're pretty common nations in Turkey. And then you would go for the rest of the team, you'd use the Superliga, so maybe you use Brazil, Nigeria, France, etc, etc. Or what you can do is you can use a nice little hyperlink. So what I can do is maybe I want to use Norwegian League rare bronzes. So I use a Norwegian League rare bronze centre back, a Norwegian League rare bronze centre back, and a Norwegian League rare bronze goalkeeper. So of course they're all going to get strong links. And I could just use a Norwegian League centre back, you know, rare centre back from like a random nation from the Norwegian League if I wanted to. So you can go through it 2 ways. 1, pick the league at the beginning. 2, just use a strong link right there, and then use plebs around. Now, got a bunch of leagues I'd recommend for this. First of all, you can go and use Footbin, but please don't use Footbin's players. So what I would say with Footbin is don't use Footbin to actually do SBCs. Use Footbin to be inspired to know. Basically, like you want to use the format and the formulas of Footbin, but you don't want to use the players. For example, if Footbin was like, okay, use the Superliga, but use this rare bronze player, well, this rare bronze player is probably going to be 2-3k. And if it's like a rare bronze Turkish centre-back, there's probably going to be loads of rare bronze Turkish centre-backs. You don't need that specific one. So I'd always say don't use the actual players whatsoever. But yeah, feel free to be inspired and use the same sort of players. Just make sure you kind of understand where you can, substitute one player out for another. So yeah, this team right here, some leagues I would recommend if you want to go for that one is going to be the Superliga, which again is the Turkish league because they've got lots of players from Brazil, Chile, Cameroon, Switzerland, Turkey, Brazil, Bosnia, and Nigeria. And bear in mind, you literally only need, You only need 4 of those nationalities. It's not too bad. You also got the Liga NOS. You can use Brazil, Argentina, Serbia, Portugal, Spain. All of those have a fair few players. Then we've got the Liga, and you can use a bunch of the major leagues, but I'm just going to throw in the Liga. And you've got France, Brazil, Portugal, Tunisia, and Ivory Coast. When looking for leagues, you want to be looking for leagues with, again, rare bronzes, and you want to be looking for lots of gold non-rares, because these gold non-rares are going to be 400 to 500 coins, whereas let's say you were using Serbia, you'd maybe have to use like 2 rare golds, and then 1 non-rare gold. You ideally, again, want to look for the combination rare bronzes, and then 78 rated non-rare golds that will cover the rating. So that right there will take you anywhere from about 5-7k all the way up to, bear in mind you're going to get a 25k pack. It's probably going to take you up to about 12k. So the next SC you want to do is going to be the It Takes 8. We're going here from a 25k pack to a 45k pack, which is pretty nice. Now, It Takes 8 is a pretty interesting one. For this one, you need 8 nationalities, exactly gold, 5 rares, which means 5 rare golds, 88 chemistry, and a maximum of 2 from each nation. Now, the thing with this is at the beginning of the game, left backs, right backs, left wings, and right wings are quite expensive. For example, you might not be able to get a right back for under 700 coins. But what it is you could get a gold non-rare right back for 700 coins or a gold rare right back for 800 coins. Bear in mind, you need to use, you need 88 chemistry and you need to use 5 rares in this. You might as well pay the 100 coins to upgrade that non-rare to a rare because, for example, a centre mid, you could get a non-rare centre mid for 350 or a rare one for 700 coins. That's a 350 coin increase, whereas it's only 100 coins for the right back. So feel free to do that. Also, another thing you can look at is putting right mids at right back and centre backs at right back. So that's another thing. Again, really just looking for leagues with lots and lots of different nationalities. What I do is I clear out your rares first because the last thing you want to be doing is having to get a rare right wing from the Liga NOS that can't be Argentinian, Brazilian, or Portuguese because you're going to screw yourself over. So make sure you get the rares done straight away because obviously there's a lot more non-rares than rares and it'll be a lot cheaper. So, what leagues to go and use for this? So, we've got the Liga NOS. They've got loads. There's basically a lot of nations and leagues I stated earlier. Liga NOS, you've got Brazil, Serbia, Portugal, and so on and so on. We've got the Superliga. Absolutely played with loads of different leagues. We've got the Country. I use the Country quite a lot for this, actually. Because, of course, they got nations left, right, and centre. We've then got the La Liga. Again, they got loads of nations. They got, like, Inuit left mid. Very unlikely you're going to be using another Japanese. One thing with this, by the way, you do only need 8 nationalities. You can pair up 3 of the nationalities used. So you could use like 2 Argentinians, 2 Brazilians, 2 Portuguese, and then everyone else has to be from a different nationality. What else do we have? We've got the Country, the La Liga, and the Bundesliga. So there we go. That's that for It Takes 8. So the next SBC you want to move on to is going to be Nation Pride. Now the nice thing with Nation Pride actually is although it may be daunting with the 100 chemistry, you actually don't need any loyalty with this whatsoever, which is really nice. So with this one, you need 11 different nationalities. That means everyone has to be a different nationality per 1 player. 7 of them have to be rare, 80 rating, which is a little bit daunting at the beginning, with 100 chemistry. So, how would you do this one, you may ask? Got to be a bit of a wizard. But yeah, so first off, I guess evade the 100 chemistry, because of course, if you guys don't know, each player can get 9 chemistry, gives you 99 chemistry with 11 times 9. Quick maths. But, if you have multiple players from the same team, for example, I know Real Betis is really good for this team. If we can head over to the old La Liga, and if I head over to Real Betis, there we go. If I was to use multiple Real Betis players, now I understand their concepts before I pointed that out, but if we go for Firpo in the left wing back, this guy here and this guy here. Now, obviously, you wouldn't go and use these players here, but this is just an example. Let's go and remove him right there. And throw in the goalkeeper, who is going to be Robles, or could be other goalkeeper. Basically, what this does, and Real Betis is actually a really good team, because you'll see that a lot of different nationalities. Of course, you know, you can take out Barge, put someone else in, and likewise with FLAIR. Yeah, you'll see there's lots of different nationalities. Now, again, it doesn't really prove the point because it's got loyalty right here, but when you have loads of players from the same team, what this does is this gives you an added chemistry because of the amount of hyperlinks, the amount of strong links, and so on and so on. Now, you're not going to have many hyperlinks because hyperlinks is same nation, same league, and with 10 different nationalities, you don't do that. And what a nice thing of this is this can help you avoid, let's say I want to go with a centre mid, but let's say I wanted to go with a cam. And again, I do understand I'm using more players from Spain, but this is just, you know, this is just a point, just to prove a point. Let's go with Boodaboos even, who again, we actually do, yeah. We're going to go Boodaboos. Now, Boodaboos is a cam. Now, a cam centre mid at the beginning game, you're paying 1 to 2k, but if you have got enough players from Real Betis, what this will do is this will give him enough chemistry, this will give other players enough chemistry, that this will put them on 9 chemistry, even though they're out of position, just because they've got all these strong links. So it's a really, really big thing for us. Of course, you need some chemistry right here to get that 100, but it can also help you evade making players from left wing back to left back to left wing back, left wing to left mid to left wing, cam centre mid, CDM centre mid, and it's really nice to help evade chemistry. Now, with this, it's quite a hard one actually because it's 80 ratings. You can't really be going with like low leagues. You can't be going with like championship and so on. You've got to be start going with some of the bigger leagues. So the leagues I've got this down for because of course, you know, you do need 80 rating. Liga NOS, pretty easy to do with that. They've got quite a few high rated players. Kind of want to be using 82s and belows. You want to be maybe using the likes of Cotes, Mathieu, other players in the Liga NOS would be decent. I've got the Superliga down here, but that's a little bit risky, I'd shout, because you might have to start using the players such as Charisma. And also what you got to understand is in some of the lower leagues that aren't like you've got like here with Real Betis. Real Betis have quite a lot of high-rated players with a lot of different nationalities. Whereas if we start going into the Superliga, you probably have Galatasaray, Betis, and that's probably about it. And then you're a little bit screwed because you can't really get lots of chemistry because you can't get loads of good players or loads of high-rated players from different nations. So probably using the likes of Superliga. Really good ones though. Cauchy, really good. La Liga, really good as you can see right here. And Bundesliga. Whenever I did loads, was always using the La Liga because it was really, really easy to do. Loads of different nationalities. You know, got players all over the shop. So this one again, you're going to be using a lot of one club. And again, you know, what I do is I'll be showing multiple examples on the screen from Footbin and so on and so on of different sort of teams and squads you can use for these. Again, you got to remember there will be transfers, but it's just giving you a rough idea for what you'll be able to use. So there's that done. Now it's quite interesting as well because this is actually the cheapest SBC of the set, but the thing is you don't really need the coins from this. So the only reason we're completing this now is to obviously complete the set. Now it's quite an interesting one, this one. 6 nationalities, 2 players from the same nationality, 70 rating and 85 chemistry. Nice thing with this one, 70 rating, boom. Don't really have to be using any golds whatsoever. So you can use the highest players you can buy discard, and that is silvers. Now, it's an interesting one because it's 85 chemistry and basically 6 doubles of, you know, 6 doubles of nations. So you have like 6 pairs of nations, you could say. Second French League is amazing because there's a lot of Africans in the French League. So the nationalities you can really use in this, all you got to do is bang on silver and go into the Second French League, and you can already see that you know, you can use the likes of Algeria, you can use obviously France in the Second French League. I know Belgium's got if you need a little bit of help with the rating, you can bring in Hiller, who is a Belgium goal player. You can even use there's a French goalkeeper. Now, okay, this might not be the exact same thing next year, but you only need 70 rating. That means you can choose a bunch of silvers, you know. I know that Venezuela have got 2 silvers you can use. I know that these guys have got 2 silvers you can use. Chemistry-wise, not a massive problem because what you can actually do is you can go look for a default right back, go look for a default left back. You go pair that up with like a centre back or a striker or something like that, and it's very, very easy to go and do so. So that is going to set you up with completing the first set of advanced SBCs. Still another 2 sets to go, which we'll be going through, but yeah, on to the next. So we are going to go move underway with the last set of the SBCs, or actually the penultimate set because there is actually the Advanced League and Nations. So we are going to be doing the hybrid leagues. These are basically ones where you use 1 or 2 nations and basically just use a bunch of leagues of it. So before we actually go and start out by doing any of these SBCs, one thing you want to heavily look out is going to be this SBC right here. Reason for this is because you do need 11 different leagues, 6 rares, exactly gold and 100 chemistry. Now, I'm not saying you can do this one off the bat, but what you need to do is you need to look for a pack pool player from either Brazil, Argentina, Spain or France. Reason for this is because you need 100 chemistry, and that's impossible to get without having 1 loyalty, because everyone has to be from different leagues. You can't get any perfect chem links, so you're looking at to get 1 pack pool player. It's all you need. Again, Brazil, Argentina, Spain and France are the easiest. I think Serbia and Colombia did work, but again, what you understand is the players this year are going to be different to the players next year. So that's one thing you'll look out for before you start the SBCs, is just holding players. Now, if you don't do all of them, yes, I guess you can go out and do the whole 10-game glitch to get loyalty, which if you guys don't know, you go into a game, you sub the player on, you back out of the game, do that 10 times, and you get the loyalty as if you'd pack the player. Another thing you can go and do is you could go and do the Advanced League and Nations if you don't already pack a player, but from these packs, you've got yourself, what, a Jumbo Gold pack, so that's what, I think it's like probably 7 or 8 players in that. Jumbo Premium Gold players, no, Premium Gold pack, that's probably another 6 or 7 players. Prime Gold players pack, that's 12 players right there, so very unlikely that you won't get a French, Germany, Argentina, not Germany, sorry, Argentina, Brazil, France, so on and so on. So, without further ado, let's go and crack on with the SBCs. So they're all going to be relatively similar because you're using kind of 1 nation with these. So, first one, you need 5 leagues, 5 rare players, and 68 chemistry. What would I recommend? First off, the nations you're looking to use are a lot of the nations with a major league and a minor league under their nation. For example, England has the Premier League, and then 3 other sort of, the Championship, the Empire 1 and the Empire 2, or whatever they're called nowadays. Likewise with the German League, you've got the Bundesliga 2, and the Bundesliga 3. You've also got the French League 1 and French League 2, and you've got, understand, there's obviously loads of French players around. And then you've also got maybe the Argentinian League and a few of them. But mainly you want to try and use the leagues with, a major league and a minor league. The La Liga and the La Liga DOS, I don't know. So for this, 5 rare players, you'll be using bronzes. You'll need 68 chemistry. You can use a mixture of rare bronzes and either gold non-rares or probably even high-rated silvers. And again, you can only have 3 from the same league, so you probably want to make sure your 3 gold non-rares are probably 78 and above, and probably from the major league. And then, of course, have your championship, 3rd and 4th leagues as the rare players. So that's that one. Again, hopefully it's all good. Next one, we got the Southern Suspects. Now, for this one, you need 78 rating. They don't talk anything about rares, so the good thing with this is you go and use a full team of gold non-rares, trying to average out the rating being 78 rated. You only need 7 leagues, so you can use 4 players from a league you've already used. One I always used this FIFA was the Eredivisie. I'd say the Eredivisie, it's not the Eredivisie, sorry, Netherlands, just because Netherlands seems to have a fair few players from different clubs, because you've got some players, I'm pretty sure there's a few players from the Championship, if we go look at them right now. Yep, you got likes of FLAIR, Krul, Indus Martins. Obviously you got a few players from the Premier League, so obviously avoiding all the Van Dijks, but you've got the likes of Van Ginkel, Vorm, Ake, just to name a few. A few recommendations as well. You want to look for using centre mids in the left and right mid. Left and right mids and left and right wings are normally quite expensive, so you can go and use the likes of default left and right mids. Sorry, default centre mids in left and right mid, or even a right back in right mid and a left back in left mid. And yeah, it's pretty simple to do. What do I have nations down here? Yeah, just Netherlands, Argentina, France, and a full non-rare team is what I recommend. So there's that one, Suspect 7th. Then over to Prime 9. So Prime 9 is a pretty interesting one, 99 chemistry, which means it is actually achievable without getting any loyalty. Now, what I would recommend is, because you can use two players who are from leagues you've already used, because you've got to use 9 different leagues, which means there can be 2 players, obviously from leagues you've already used. Try and use perfect chem links. So a really good example right here. Let's say you were to use Spain, which is one of the nations I recommend you using. You're going to go over to Wolves. Now, I don't know if this is too cheap, I'll be honest. Sorry, Watford. Off the get-go of FIFA, because I don't know how cheap De La FLAIR would be, but this is just an example. You could also go and use the La Liga. So De La FLAIR and Matey Boy right here, because they're both from the same team, they're both going to get 10 chemistry instead of 9 chemistry, which then means if I want to use a Spanish centre-mid in CDM, I can get away with that, because I have excess chem off the likes of this Watford, Watford perfect chem link. The interesting thing with this as well, by the way, there actually weren't many Spanish centre-mids who weren't, who were default CDM. So a lot of the Spanish centre-mids you had to use were actually centre-mids. So there you go. Say I use Fabian right there. Fabian's only going to be, 8 chem, because he's not in the right position as such. But yeah, nations I recommend for this is going to be Spain, Argentina, Portugal, and France. Again, you might want to plan this one out a little bit, because you do need 5 rare players and 9 different leagues. So obviously, planning it out rather than going and buying all your players and then realising, damn, I'm 1 or 2 leagues off or something along the lines of that is always good. Again, probably want to start by looking at your left backs, right backs, left mids and right mids. Normally, because there's obviously a lot less left backs and right backs in the game than there are centre mids, so you want to prioritise getting them done. Happy days. Always got to remember, left and right backs normally cost like 700-800 coins to start off with, so maybe you want to upgrade to a rare left and right back, and it'll only be 200 coins because obviously you need 5 rares. Now, the interesting one in this actually was Spain had a lack of gold centre backs from what's it called, nationalities that won the La Liga. So some people even started using silver Spanish rare centre backs, and would just supplement that with using the likes of David Villa up front and Fernando Torres. So yeah, so you can use silvers in this, but 79 rating using silvers is a little bit iffy. Now on to squad goals. Now as I said, you do need to make sure you are keeping at least one pack pool player from Brazil, Argentina, Spain or France, and that's because you're going to use them in this. Now this SBC is an absolute nightmare to do from the top of your head. Now I can obviously, I guess for someone who's been playing FIFA for a while, it's not too hard, but I'll be honest, this is one I would rely on Footbin. So what I'm going to do, head over to Footbin right now. Now, again, what you got to realise is I said keep one of the pack pool players, it means there needs to be at least one loyalty. So don't try and find an SBC about loyalty because it's not a thing. I scroll down to these comments and all I see is, where is it? All I see is something that doesn't need loyalty. Everyone's trying to ask, can it be that you literally cannot do it without loyalty. Not unless you're probably using an icon, which I doubt you'd want to use an icon in an SBC costing about 7k. So, what you need to do is you need to find the player you've packed. For example, let's say I packed, I don't know, let's say Gil, centre back from the Chinese league, something like that. Basically, again, it's always going to tell you needs loyalty. And that's basically what you want to do is you want to replace your player. So I'd have Gil, who's from the Chinese league. So what I'd have to do is I'd have to go put him in instead of this guy, and then go and try and strike you. I could actually go and probably put Wesley from the Belgian Pro League. So you kind of need to find an already made team and then just substitute your player in. Again, you might have to realise that, okay, they've used Chinese league somewhere else, but then you can also substitute that out. So that's kind of what you're looking for. I would recommend use Footbin. Maybe double check players' prices before you actually go and use them because it's always the safer thing to do. I mean, there isn't too much to scream and shout about it, apart from just you'll make sure you hold on to your player. What we are going to do right now to end off the video is we're going to be looking at the Advanced League and Nations, which are these right here. Now you can only do 2 of these without loyalty. The others need an excessive amount of loyalty. I think this one needs 7 and this one needs like 9. So you can obviously go and do them, but because them themselves will take about half an hour a piece just to go and get the loyalty. I guess we're going to hold off that for now. But yeah, we're going to go, because obviously if you don't need loyalty, that's half an hour you can spend trading or doing stuff like that and, generating coins before players start rising. But yeah, we're going to go and complete these 2 right now and try and help you guys. These are quite difficult, by the way. Again, I would kind of recommend using Footbin, but again, double check players' prices, because some could be price switch. You could buy 10 of the players, have to buy that 1 more player, and these 7 or 8k, and you're kind of a little bit screwed. So time to go and complete this and end off the video. So as I basically said, this is a really, really difficult one for me to kind of explain, because it's not as simple as just using, just use, a Brazilian team with a few different leagues. These are really kind of like a formula to them, and I'll show you a few right here to explain what the formula is. Now, basically what you need is you need 3 different nations, if I'm not wrong, and 2 leagues. And what you've got to make sure is you've got to make sure that these leagues have players from the same nations, if that makes any sense. So you can see right here you've got the Liga NOS, and you'll see that there is a Brazilian player in the Liga NOS. You'll also see that they've gone and used the Ukrainian league, and there's Brazilian players in the Ukrainian league. So basically what you need to make sure is you pick 2 different leagues, but those leagues have 1 nation in common. So right here again, it's Brazil being in common, and obviously they're using Brazilian players on the left and Ukrainian players on the right. There are a few different ways of doing this one, but that's the extremely easy way of explaining it. We're not going to head over this one. Liga NOS seem to be used a fair bit, but this person's actually going to use Morocco. Pretty interesting. Nice thing with this as well, because you're using players all from the same nation. You'll see that you're getting some perfect chem link right here. You're getting, perfect chemistry. You're getting 10 chem on him. You're getting 10 chem on him, just because you're using strong links. So this person's used Spain, France, and then obviously the common nation being Morocco. So you look at a few more, for example. Right here, you've got someone using the Liga NOS, and you're seeing someone use the what's it called? And the Liga. And again, the combination right here is Portugal. You see Portuguese right here, and Portuguese right here, and then they're using Brazil. So hopefully that's that format done. As I say, it's there are multiple ways of getting chemistry, but the easy way of doing it is just pick 1 smaller league. Again, Liga NOS, Superliga, some of the major leagues. Just maybe stay away from the Premier League, like the Liga and the Couchway. They've got lots of integrations and lots of different nationalities in their leagues, especially being relatively common. Like there's so many Brazilians in the Liga NOS, and there's actually a fair few Brazilians in the Liga, and so I'm sure you could do that. And yeah, that's about all she wrote with that one. And then we got the second one right here, which again is way easier for me to show you, because it's like a formula rather than it's an easy thing. So again, you don't need loyalty in all of these, but you only just get the chemistry because they all need 100 chem. But obviously, you're getting quite a few strong links now. With this one, there are loads of ways of doing it. I'll be honest with you. How I normally do it is using. Let's just click on this one. See if this one maybe uses the format I use. Kind of. The format I normally use is using like strong links here. Then you use someone who has a strong link between the left mid and the striker. You then have a weak link here. You then have players from that club that again is very confusing. But I'd recommend use Footbin. Don't use the top solution, by the way. Never really use the top solution. Even the top solutions that say 500-600 coins cheaper. More likely than not, so many people are going to be buying that top solution that it's not 500-600 coins cheaper. In fact, maybe 1-2 of those players are 2-3k. So it's one thing you'll look at. You know, you see right here, again, we're very late in FIFA, but you got 6k right here. Honestly, it wouldn't hurt to go down into like 6.7k, just because very unlikely is anyone doing this one. And then it should be all good. So as I say, there's loads and loads of different ways of it. The majority of the ways these are done is bunch of links all from the same league here, bunch of links all from the same league here, and then just an absolute madness is done in the middle. So yes, as I say, these, because they're the Advanced League of Nations, they're a lot more of a formula than just for a bunch of Spanish or just for a bunch of Prem players. So that is going to be us done for how to start FIFA doing SBCs. Again, this is what I heavily recommend. This is what I literally do myself. Literally what I do is I'll go and, just do these SBCs, make sure I get the players I need for loyalty, and then, complete all up until doing the Tough and Hybrid Master. Again, you can go and do these, because these do give you good packs. I think you get a 50k pack for doing all of these, if I'm not wrong. Is it 50? Oh no, it's only 12k. God, they've knocked off the incentive a little bit, but you do get yourself a mega pack and actually a 50k pack. So you can go and do them, but I say the loyalty, and again, choose Footbin for these League of Nations, because they're way more of a formula than just doing the normal ones. So hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Again, any questions, do make sure to drop them down below. If you guys aren't aware, this is my how to go from 0 to 1 million in 7 days on FIFA 20 Road to Glory. I'd say something I've done for the last 2 years, managed to make 1 million in the first 7 days. So these are going to be all loads and loads of things I do. No made up training methods just to fill content or anything like that. These are all proven and working methods. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video.